to Chronicles of a Worthy Lifestyle. Today we bring you one of the most talented artists in Philadelphia. Just want to start off by getting your name and tell us a little bit about what you do.
My name is Zaid Holmes. My artist name is Z Digga. It's spelled ZDIGGV, but the V is supposed to be like an upside down A. I'm 24. I've been doing art for about 18 years. Fine art, like 2D pieces. And I got into painting with acrylics on canvas about a little over 2 years ago. Um, I love art. I've been doing it my entire life. And now I'm getting into doing showcases around the city and stuff like that. And now I want to start like branching out, doing more prestigious shows, reaching out to galleries, things of that nature, as well as like doing shows in other states and stuff like that too.
Tell us a little bit about like your background. Where did you come from? Where did you grow up? And a little bit about your family life.
Well, originally I'm from New York City. My family's from New York. I lived in the different boroughs in New York. I've lived in just about all of them. Then after that, not too long after the towers fell, I moved to Jersey because I was a chronic asthmatic as a child. So like the air pollution was like making me sick. So my father moved us out of the city. Um, so I lived in Jersey for about 10 years. I would say about most of my life I stayed in Jersey up until I was like a young man. And then I came out this way to PA and now I'm here in Philly. I'm saying city of brotherly love. It's been showing me a lot of love too, and I'm grateful for it.
You are very talented, and it's noted, and noticed.
Thank you.
What I know you've been doing it for about 18 years. So like, how did you start? How did you start? What is your why and like your inspiration to keep going?
Um, well, I started when I was about 6, and I used to love Dragon Ball Z. If you're a fan of my art, like everybody knows, like I do all types of Dragon Ball Z art, even still to this day. So when I was little, my father used to buy me the posters. When I would get good grades, he would take me to go get posters and stuff, and I started out tracing them. But one day, he told me like, stop tracing and try to look at it and do it on your own. So he bought me a sketchbook, and I was just fixated on trying to recreate these posters and stuff. But starting out, like I wasn't that good, and that's one thing I always wanted to get across to people. Like people often come to me and tell me like, they'll compliment my work, and then they'll say to me like, I can't even draw a stick figure, and I always laugh because it's like I couldn't either at a point in time. Like when I first started, I was terrible. Like I was trash, So, but it's because I like doing it so much, and I kept it. Like I just kept at it. Like I kept doing it like every day. Like I wanted to get good at it. I wanted to get better. You know what I'm saying? And I was always a creative kid. Like I used to like writing short stories and stuff. Pictures going along with the story and everything like that. So it was just that drive, just like that passion for it. Like like I just love doing it. So like I just did it every day. Like I used to run through my mom's packs of printing paper like nothing. You know what I mean? So I guess nowadays I would say my current motivation with doing it is I want to create opportunities for other artists. Um, Coming up, I didn't have that many opportunities. Actually, like being an artist as a kid and being into the type of things that I'm into, i.e., movies, comic books, cartoons, like weird things like that. Like what I'm saying. You would get picked on, like what I'm saying, and those were a few things I was subjected to coming up, like being picked on and everything. But I always showcased my talent, and nowadays I come across a lot of young artists who are afraid to showcase their talent because I, some of them may feel like like if I showcase my skill, like or if I showcase what I'm passionate about, then I'm giving you a piece of myself, and I'm so guarded, like I don't want to do that because like if you don't take to it right, then I'm not gonna. What I'm saying? It's a bad thing, like and it's almost like an insecurity, and I want to give young artists an opportunity or opportunities to showcase themselves in a comfortable environment where no one will judge them. Everyone will look at their work subjectively, as art, should be viewed, and and allow them to express themselves in a place where they feel comfortable. You know what I mean? Because that's very important. As far as like bringing up young artists and everything like that, and the future generations. art is very important. It's in everything that we are. It's in everything that we have. And without it, we wouldn't know our history. We wouldn't know where we're going in the future. Like we'd be lost.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's an art form to everything. Even if you want to get religious, it's an art form to art creation. To be a creator, like you wield an incredible amount of power being a creator. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like that's something that should be cherished. That should be praised. It shouldn't be hidden away. And so like my main motivation is just to help others. Like I've always had that in me, like to just want to help other people.
Because art is a huge outlet. I can see it for a lot of people, even being a therapist myself. There's art therapy. It's a way for others to use as an outlet.
Yeah.
So I understand what you're saying. And I also heard you basically say like your passion and your lack of fear kind of got you where you are in your dedication. Being able to step out the box, got you to be able to be this great. You weren't once this great, but, you took those steps.
All right. And even as good as people may feel like I am, personally, like I feel like I can get better. You can always be better. You know what I'm saying? But it's times where I've stumbled, where I've lost my way and had to find my way back. And, it's times where I was doing stuff and, I was afraid to put my stuff out there too. Like I didn't want people to see the things that I was drawing and, my creativity, and going through that dark period, like, I get it. And that's what I often tell these young artists that I come across. And, not some of them aren't even young. Some are older than me,
right.
And I come across them and I tell them, like, do what you love. That's my slogan. Like, do what you love. Like, if you ever see me post DWYL, it's an acronym for do what you love. I even have it tattooed on me. It's a motto that I live by. It's a code that I live by. And I preach it faithfully to everybody because you can work a 9-to-5 job. You can pull 40 hours a week. Cool. Fine. Pull overtime. Get that check. You know what I'm saying? But are you working to just get that check? You know what I'm saying? Like when you come home, like what is your routine? Do you eat dinner, take a shower, go to sleep just to wake up the next day and do that? Are you living to work? You know what I'm saying? So I believe it should be the opposite. You should work to live. You know what I'm saying? You should work. You should bust your ass. You should go hard. So you can do what you love to do. So that money, so that all that hard work doesn't seem like it's for nothing. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to look up after 60 years and retire and you have like you feel no fulfillment in your life. You know what I'm saying? So I believe do what you love is a very important important thing people should incorporate. You know what I'm saying? And it makes you happier. It makes you feel like you have a purpose in life. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like especially with these younger kids, we should be encouraging them to be that way. And even some older adults, who have may have stumbled or looked back on their lives thinking like, dang, it's a lot of things that I wanted to do, that I didn't get a chance to. You still have that chance. You're alive. You're breathing. You have till tomorrow. And then maybe you have the day after that. Right. You know what I'm saying? But while you're here, take the opportunity, take the chance. It all starts with up here. So
exactly. Just to go back a little bit, I know you say you stumbled a little bit and you did have some fears. How did you get over the fear of, putting your art out there and getting out there on social media and doing these events?
I kind of got angry. At the time, I was going through depression, very bad depression, and I wasn't sleeping at night. And the only thing that would give me solace was to sit at my dinner table and draw. I would draw for hours, like anything. Like I would just draw anything for hours. And it was a every night thing. Like I was up every night doing this. And I don't know if it was the stress on my brain because I wasn't sleeping, but I kind of like broke down one day and I was just having a really bad day. And I was just mad at where my life was. I had tried rapping, doing music. I had been rapping for 10 years, but I didn't get anywhere with it. And I feel like most of that comes in from like doing things for other people, putting other people first instead of like focusing on myself. But, that just comes with being a friend, you know what I'm saying? So, but after that didn't yield any results for me. Like I was mad about where my life was. I was mad that I had put so much time and energy into it and for it to not get me anywhere. So I decided to change. And then at the time, like I was working minimum wage jobs and not getting any fulfillment out of that. Like I'm busting my ass, working all of these hours just to work for chump change. Like, you know what I'm saying? But that's where the motto came, stuck to my head, like, you know, do what you love. Because it was like, I was living to work. And I decided I wanted to work to live. So I quit my job. And God bless my ex-girlfriend because she stood by me through that. Like, she didn't have to. And then I know a lot of friends who have women that wouldn't have stuck by them through that, you know what I'm saying? And we need to be there for each other, you know what I mean? Especially like black couples or like people of minority races, we need to stick with one another, you know what I'm saying? And if y'all gonna be in a relationship, love one another in and out, you know what I'm saying? So with that being said, like, she stuck by me through a lot, and God bless her for that. And you know, I quit my job and I started doing my art full time. My following was, I mean it. I mean it. I was averaging 10, 11 likes a picture. Wasn't getting followed back, nothing, you know, and even that started to frustrate me. But I didn't know at the time that frustration wasn't because like nobody liked my work. It was because like I wanted everyone to like my work. You know what I mean? I wanted to get to that point to where like it's undeniable to anybody who comes across. And that was just hunger and that dedication I felt coming back to me. Like it was a dedication to it that, excuse me, I haven't felt since I was a child, you know, getting into it and really being passionate about it. So, you know, I quit. I started doing my art full time. I was getting commissions here and there, little small stuff, working for some change. Like, and after a while, like when I started developing my skill, I started getting into other mediums, Copic markers, like acrylic on canvas, you know, and once I started getting comfortable with those things and started improving, I decided to try to market. Like, let me try to do showcases, put my work out there, you know, because now I feel comfortable enough to do that. I feel like my talents were good enough to where like I can showcase them and people will look at it and be like, wow, like this is amazing, you know, because I've worked at it for so long. And I found that I got more love for my art than I ever got for music. I got way more love, like, and it was incredible to feel that, like, you know what I'm saying? It was like, wow, like, this is where I need to be. Like, this is my lane. Like, this is my path. Like, this is what I'm meant to do. You know what I'm saying? And I've just been rocking with it ever since. Good days, bad days, like, I rock with it. You know what I'm saying? And I encourage everybody else to do the same. Like, you know what I mean? Is if you're a fan of my art, you know, I love you. I love y'all. But the one thing I want to stress is that I didn't start off perfect, or I didn't start off as good as I am. You know what I'm saying? I had to build up to, it was grueling, long nights where, you know, stuff wasn't coming out, you know, and frustration and being angry and scrap paper and throwing stuff out and starting over and stuff. Like, I've gone through all of those nights, you know what I'm saying? And I still go through them, you know what I mean? And the greatest artists in the world will tell you they go through those periods, you know what I'm saying? So, you know, don't be so hard on yourself. You know what I mean? Like, people shouldn't be so hard on themselves. Other creators shouldn't be so hard on themselves to perform. You know what I mean? Just do you. Do what feels right to you. You know what I mean? Do what comes from inside and comes from up here. And you'll find that it's perfect harmony when you don't put as much pressure on yourself to perform.
Right, exactly. What is your proudest moment to date?
I would say when I had my first solo event. That was a milestone for me only because 3 years ago, if you had told me that I was going to be having my own solo event, I wouldn't have believed you. Like, when I got into that period, when I was in that dark period and art was that transition for me, I wouldn't have believed you. I'd have been like, what? I can't even get people to buy this drawing right now, and I'm selling it for $10. You know what I'm saying? But and even when I had my solo event, it wasn't the greatest turnout. You know, I didn't pack the place. You know what I'm saying? But it was just the feeling of accomplishment. Like, wow, like, look at how far I've come. Like, 3 years ago, like, I was sitting at my dinner table crying all night, like, upset and drawing pictures, you know, until I fall asleep. You know what I'm saying? But now it's like I'm here, I'm showcasing my own, like I got my own DJ here, like, you know, I got a bartender, I'm serving food, like, you know, my art's strung all over the place, like, you know what I'm saying? It's like, it's a sense of accomplishment, and it felt great. You know, it was a little discouraging that you know, I couldn't pack the place, but you know, for it to be my first time, it was just like, wow, like look at what all I've done off my first time. You know what I mean? Imagine if I keep doing it and how good I'll get at that and how many more people will come. You know what I'm saying? So I will honestly say like that was my biggest my biggest achievement so far. One that I'm most proud of. Just because of that sense of accomplishment, and it just, you know, the how things can change, how the dynamic can change from bad to good. It just patience. That's all it takes. Patience.
When did you know that you were worthy and capable of achieving anything that you put your mind to? And what would be some advice to help others get to that place?
I will say that I've always felt good enough. I've always felt the sense that, like, man, I can do that. You know, I never looked at anything anyone did and said to myself, like, wow, I can't do that. Nah, I just know it'll take me time, you know, and I encourage everyone to be like that. Like, yo, just, it's nothing you can't do. You know what I'm saying? Like your mind, the mind dictates what happens in reality. What you perceive, it's what you're going to act out. You know what I'm saying? So if you go into something with negativity, like, oh, I can't do this picture like the way you did it. You know, I can never do it like that. It's like, no, like go into it saying like, man, I can do it, but it'll take me time. I can do that though. And then you may not be able to do it right then and there, but you've given yourself a better chance at succeeding at it. You know what I'm saying? A perfect example I always give people. If you got a test coming up in school and you haven't studied, but you go into the test saying like, man, you know what, I'm gonna do the best I can. I didn't study, I didn't cram for this, like, you know what I mean? But I'm gonna go in here and just wing it. I'm gonna do what I can do. You've given yourself a much better chance at success versus if you go into the test like, man, I'm gonna fail, man. I ain't pass. I know I'm gonna fail. Now you're anxious. Now when you go to answer those questions, you're not thinking as long as you probably could, or you're not seeing things the way that you're supposed to because you already walked into it with self-doubt. Never give yourself self-doubt. I always say that, like, always believe in yourself, have that confidence in yourself, you know what I'm saying? And it'll get you a long way, you know what I mean? And I know that's easier said than done. So, you know, I always tell people, like, especially creatives, you know, watch the energy you keep around you. Watch the type of people that's encouraging you, that's there for you, you know what I'm saying? And if you don't have those people or the people around you aren't doing that, you need to surround yourself with new people because it's 2018. We walking into a new type of era now, and it's like, yo, like, we don't got time for the negativity. You know what I'm saying? And like I mentioned earlier, like, especially people of color, like, we need to stick together. And that's very important. And that's why, like, I built the type of foundation that I'm trying to build. I guess I should say, like, I'm trying to build this foundation on bringing people together and doing for other people. You know what I'm saying? Because only with one another can we truly succeed. And it's about high time for us to get on that memo. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, everybody else is against us and they're together in that. So, like, we need to be together amongst ourselves. You know what I mean? So that's the one thing I could say is just believe in yourself. And if you see someone else doing what you do or doing whatever and they need a little bit of pep, like, you know, they need that encouragement, you know, that battery in their back, give it to them. You know what I'm saying? It's not hard. You know what I mean? It's all you have to do is just have the will to do it. Right. You know what I mean? So
it's time for us to support each other. It'll go a longer way.
Yeah, absolutely.
So speaking of that foundation, I know you were talking about building. Where do you see your business or your company in 5 years?
I had a friend of mine tell me that he see me being a millionaire in 5 years. I said, me too, man. Like, right. Me too. How I plan on achieving that is I want to start a curating company called Ghetto Canvas. It's basically platform to do showcases in other states, and then as it gets bigger, even other countries. Bring a collective of artists who are driven, dedicated, who are passionate about what they do, who have a vision and want to push themselves and want to promote themselves and want to put themselves out there, and give them an opportunity to do that. I believe in all types of forms of art: tattooing, music, film, photography, modeling, fashion. Like, it's all art, all of it. You know what I'm saying? So I want to give everybody a chance. The show is not limited to anything. It's like a spectacle. Like, I want my shows to be like, you get a little bit of everything. Like, you come here and it's just like, wow, like, I'm a little overwhelmed with what's here. You know what I'm saying? And that alone, that feeling, that's an incredible feeling. Like, wow, to be in a room of such creativity, like such good vibes. You know what I'm saying? So I would say 5 years, like, that's where I want to be. I want to be that guy that puts that together, and I can just sit back and watch, like, and just see everything unfold, and everybody's being happy, and everyone's talking to each other, and everybody's spreading that love for art and creativity. You know what I'm saying? That's important to me. And then I would say, like, using, if I, God willing, I make it to that point, I want to use my wealth and status to help people, like, on a social level. Give back to the communities and, like, do for kids, and, you know what I'm saying, and try to help better our people, like, you know what I'm saying, and hopefully help teach our people through art, unity and power and confidence, you know what I'm saying, and not complacency, but confidence in yourself, you know what I mean, and never be comfortable where you are. There's always a chance that you can further yourself, you can better yourself, you know what I'm saying. It's just that complacency. Don't be complacent, you know what I mean. That's important for us. So 5 years, I'm praying that's where I am, like, that's where I am.
You'll definitely make it with the talent, and you have a great head on your shoulders. You definitely see you there.
Thank you.
But we're gonna wrap it up. Just let everybody know where they can find you on Instagram, some shows that may be coming up.
Instagram, you can follow me at ZDIGGV. It's Z Digger, but the A is a V. I'm thinking about changing that, but that's what it is for right now. So just rock with that. You can add me on Facebook, facebook.com/Zaid Holmes, ZAIDHOLMES, like Sherlock. I'm on Twitter, Team Z Digger. That one is spelled the correct way, ZDIGGA.
You got any shows coming up?
Shows. This Friday, I have a Sip and Soul, I think it's called. It's in Trenton, off of Broad Street. That's on Friday. I have another showcase in Trenton on Saturday through Sunday, Art All Night. That's gonna be lit. If you follow me on Instagram, I'm posting all about that. You know what I'm saying? You can find all the information about the shows on my Instagram page, my Facebook page. Art All Night is gonna be crazy. July 28th. Richmond, California. If you out there, you feel me, trap art, you know what I'm saying, I'm pulling up, we out, you know what I'm saying, we gonna be there, do what you love, Z Digger, we pulling up, you know what I'm saying. So you could go on my link in my Instagram bio, and use my promo code DWYL for $5 off your ticket. So that said, you can find information about that on my page. Got a couple shows lined up in like August, September, and everything like that, and we planning for an event in Art Basel in December in Miami. Yeah, we planning for that. We coming down there for that. So y'all be ready for that too. You know what I'm saying? That's gonna be lit.
Well, make sure you check out his Instagram for all his artwork and upcoming events. Thank you, guys.
Thank you. God bless.